pleasure to be here with you tonight to celebrate the achievements of remarkable people in the city and our industry. I would like to extend my thanks and sincere gratitude to our many sponsors that have made this year's event such a success. This is a record crowd tonight. If we could get everybody to maybe settle down for a moment, and we'll get through this program. The list of sponsors is in your program at your table. I'd like to take a minute to acknowledge the elected officials, the dignitaries that have joined us this evening. So as I call your name, please stand to be recognized, and let's hold the applause until the end, if we could. They include Congresswoman Eleanor Holmes Norton, Councilmember Jack Evans, Councilmember David Catania, Councilmember Anita Bonds, Councilmember Marion Berry, Councilmember Kenyon McDuffie, Councilmember David Grasso, Councilmember Yvette Alexander, former Councilmember for Ward 4 and University President Charlene Drew Jarvis, Chairman Phil Mendelson, and the D.C. government agency heads Keith Anderson, Matt Brown, Kenneth Ellerby, Robbie Sabakan, Adrian Todman, and Ellen McCarthy. Let's give a round of applause for these people who dedicate so much time to this city. Thank you. So as you know, tonight is the 30th year of our Achievement Awards, and I want to take a moment to recognize Property Group partners and my work colleagues who support me in this effort to serve the DCBIA. So I appreciate that. DCBIA is a very broad and very deep network of real estate development professionals who are dedicated, focused, and commit time and economic resources to advance our industry. I have been involved with this well-respected and well-grounded organization for over 20 years. As DCBIA changes, we continue to build on the experience and roles of great people while adding fresh perspective and new people to our team. There are significant changes underway. As many of you know, our previous director, Gail Edwards, retired after 42 years of service. I saw Gail last week, and I am here to attest that she is doing wonderfully in her retirement. She is rested, she looks great, she's buying a new home, and she's planning her travel abroad. She could not be with us as a result of her travel plans. As many of you have met her, DCBIA has a new CEO, Lisa Mallory. In her roles with Fannie Mae and the district's DOES, she brings a breadth of both public and private sector experience to DCBIA. And through her leadership, you can expect more innovative programming, increased membership, and value proposition in the weeks and the months to come. We have also promoted Sylvia Dumitrescu as our new COO. And I would like to recognize and thank our staff, Danielle Mellis, Pam Shaw, and Megan Cahill, for their hard work and dedication to this association. Tonight we will present awards in 3 categories: private sector development, community partnership, and public service. At the outset, I want to acknowledge DCBIA's award co-chairs. Chris Collins, who's at stage 2, is DCBIA's counsel and a member of the Holland & Knight law firm. And my very good friend and colleague for almost 30 years, Bob Braunohler, a DCBIA past president and regional vice president of Property Group Partners. I want to thank you both for organizing and bringing us all together for this great event tonight. There is no doubt that Washington is now a vibrant big city for visitors, residents, and workers. There are plenty of great reasons to develop in, move to, work in, or visit D.C., and the reasons keep growing. Here are a few numbers and facts showing how far we have come as a city. In the past 2 years, we have witnessed over 10 million square feet of new developments. We have 124 million square feet of office market inventory, 1.7 million square feet of retail that's under construction. We are a top 5 global city for real estate investment. We are the #1 strongest economy for a city in the United States. We are ranked #1 for USGBC LEED certified projects. We are the #1 new tech hotspot. Visitors to Washington, D.C. topped 17.5 million, and visitor spending was $6.7 billion last year alone. D.C. has every reason to celebrate, and tonight we will honor individuals who have contributed to the success in the economic development of our city. All 3 categories of awardees have placed economic development as a key focus by supporting or creating development projects that not only help the economy grow, but they also add to the energy, safety, vitality of our great and growing city. With that, again, I welcome you to DCBIA's 30th Annual Achievement Awards, and now I direct you to Chris Collins at Stage 2, where he will present the award to the first recipient.
Thank you, Sean. As co-chair of this event tonight, it's a pleasure to be with you here to celebrate our awardees. Our first award is the Community Partnership Award. This award is designed for someone who has made an outstanding contribution to the economic growth and vitality of the district and to the well-being of its residents. This year, there is no better recipient to receive this special award than Metropolitan Police Chief Kathy Lanier. Safety is the most important priority of any big city, and D.C. is no different. And because we have such strong security in our city, our economy can continue to grow. We are here tonight to thank Chief Lanier for her leadership. Chief Lanier has one of the highest approval ratings of any leader of our city because she has built such strong relationships within her own force, with residents and business members alike, as well as with the council and the press. Chief Lanier joined the force in 1990 as a foot patrolman and has moved up the ranks since then to become, quote, one of the most successful big city police chiefs in America, according to Parade magazine. I think that deserves applause. Along the way, Chief Lanier earned Bachelor of Science and Master of Science degrees from Johns Hopkins University and a Master of Arts in National Security Studies from the Naval Postgraduate School. Her brand of communication is strong, and it relies upon advanced technology. She gets daily crime stats by email. Her patrolmen use tough books to communicate, and MPD analyzes statistics and uses Twitter and Facebook as tools to fight crime. Her belief is that through immediate and coordinated action, the city can reduce crime. Those of us who communicate with the chief know that this is true. If you email her right now, she'll probably respond. But don't do that because it'll just make the program longer. And with her relationships that she has built and the effective community policing she has adopted, we have witnessed a 53% reduction in homicides and a 95% homicide case closure rate in 2011. Yes. Chief Lanier has also kept the city safe through many citywide events, including the last two of the largest presidential inaugurals the city has ever hosted. With the enormous amount of real estate development over the years, safety remains a top priority for our industry. Chief Lanier is right there with us. She knows the people and the buildings and all the neighborhoods, and we know her. DCBIA is proud to award Chief Kathy Lanier with this year's Community Partnership Award. Chief?
Now everybody's quiet. It's time for me to talk. I don't get invited to many parties like this, surprisingly. Thank you very much for this. This means more than I could explain in any comments I can make. When I took over as the chief in 2007 and I went to the deputy mayor for economic development and said I really need to get a copy of the 5-year economic development plan because we're doing our 5-year strategy, it looked like I had 3 heads. And I said, look, we really have to incorporate this rapid development in our crime strategies so that we can make sure that it keeps going around the city, because all 8 wards in Washington, D.C. need the same development and the same opportunities. It's the same restaurants and the same grocery stores. And I'm in Northeast, and we don't have all that yet, but we're getting there. For the last 7 years, we have incorporated economic development in my crime briefings every single day. I have driven around the city and I've met with developers and builders and construction crews, and just has been a wonderful partnership. And if I'd known this was such a great event with all the great food, I would have come in plain clothes and hung out for a while. So at any rate, this is a huge honor for law enforcement. The Metropolitan Police Department, the men and women that work in your communities and work with you every single day, do a fantastic job. So it's an honor for me to accept this on their behalf, because they get it and they want you to keep building and keep coming and keep bringing that development around the city. We still have a little ways to go, and we're going to make sure you get there. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And now I'd like to turn your attention across the room to Bob Braunholer, who will make the next presentation.
Thank you, Chris. It's really a pleasure to be a co-chair tonight, and I am very happy to be here. Our next award is being given to someone who's made an outstanding contribution to the economic growth and vitality of the district. Tonight's Private Sector Development Award is presented to Chris Donatelli of Donatelli Development. As president and CEO of Donatelli Development since 1998, Chris has literally helped build the city we now have. Chris was the first developer to undertake large-scale projects that create mixed-use, transit-oriented housing and retail adjacent to metro stations in the neighborhoods of Washington. His projects have all been constructed on underutilized or vacant land, and they've helped to revitalize neighborhoods and brought needed housing and retailers to those areas. We all know these projects: Kenyon Square, Highland Park. They transformed Columbia Heights and helped spur future development to make Columbia Heights the vibrant and robust community it is today. The Ellington and Harrison Square at 13th and U also spurred all the restaurants and the retail and the establishments we all love now on U Street. Park Place and the Griffin at the Petworth Metro is now transforming Georgia Avenue into a bustling new neighborhood for everyone. So far, Chris has delivered over 1,400 housing units and over 90,000 square feet of retail space. His most recent project is Park 7, an affordable housing unit, an affordable housing project with 20,000 square feet of ground level retail at the Minnesota Avenue Metro in Ward 7. With the first residents just moving in this month, Park 7 is already serving as a catalyst for future revitalization and development in this promising neighborhood. Chris is a native Washingtonian, graduated from Gonzaga, and received his MBA in real estate from AU. DCBIA applauds Chris Donatelli's investment in Washington, D.C., and his investment has helped define the city we see today. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Okay, appreciate it. Thank you very much. Well, thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, DCBIA, for this great honor. On behalf of our company, on behalf of my family, I'm very happy to accept this award tonight. Quick story. In 1996, we had a family business meeting. My older brother, Doug, had a plan. We had just come through the recession of the early 1990s, and he wanted to reorganize the company. The plan had colorful graphs and charts, and therefore, my parents loved it. Doug said that he would take the commercial properties and try to form a public company, and that I could have the residential properties and form a residential development company. When they finally asked me for my thoughts on the plan, I said, "That's great, Doug, but we don't have any residential properties." They then reminded me of the old Children's Hospital off of U Street, a site we had been pursuing for a while. Though it still had a crumbling hospital on it with a chain-link fence around it, it represented an opportunity. As a Gonzaga graduate, I was excited to get back to the city. Ultimately, that property became our first residential development in the city. We've now continued and built 15 others in U Street, Columbia Heights, Petworth, and Minnesota Avenue. Doug, no slouch himself, went on to take the three commercial properties and turn it into 75. And he has 200 employees today. I've never sat back and considered which one of us has done a better job, but I guess tonight the people have spoken. There is a direct correlation between residential development and public safety, so it's an honor to be here tonight with Kathy Lanier. When the building permits are at their peak and when the building permits are at their lowest, the crime rate does rise and fall. In 1996 and 1997, there were 0 and 15 residential permits issued, respectively. Crime at that time was at its peak, 470 plus homicides. Conversely, when development is strong, 4,500 permits in 2011, the number drops to 88. In addition, since those days of the early mid-90s, the economy of Washington, D.C. has doubled in size. My father, Lou, who's here tonight, was really the true visionary for our urban development in Washington, D.C. He grew up in Northeast and Capitol Hill, and he simply found it unacceptable how his city had deteriorated over the years. He has fond memories of riding the streetcar, going to St. John's High School, playing ball at Rosedale and Turkey Thicket. He married my mother, Ann Curlin, who grew up in Petworth off Grand Circle. My brother Ted works with me in the development, and my sister Julie has run nonprofits, including those in Ward 8. We are proud that we've been able to make whatever contribution we have been able to make to the city in retail and affordable housing. And I would like to thank that there are so many people that have really been instrumental to our success. So I'm just going to run through them. I wish I had more time to really thank them properly, but Mayor Tony Williams, Adrian Fenty, Mayor Gray, the council members that we've worked with over the years, in Ward 1, Jim Graham, in Ward 4, Muriel Bowser, in Ward 7, Yvette Alexander. We also like to thank Councilmember Jack Evans for his overall stewardship and the financial stewardship of the city. We've worked with a number of deputy mayors over the years in our public-private partnerships and with WMATA. Because of where our projects are located, each one of them has been a struggle to get off the ground. And I'd like to thank, I can't thank everyone again, but I'd like to thank our lenders with Eagle Bank, Bank of America, our partners at Gregg & Associates and Blue Sky Construction, our builders, McCullough Construction. We've done 7 projects with Tom now, and our attorneys at Lurch, Early & Brewer and Holland & Knight, and just a few of our architects that we've worked with over the years, Torty Gallus, GTM, Monster Harrison, and Eric Colbert & Associates. Again, thank you all very much for this honor. It's been my pleasure to be here tonight. Thank you.
I just want to say, this is an old school developer because his The acceptance speech was handwritten. And now I'm going to turn it back to Sean Cahill, and he's going to make the last award of the evening.
Thank you, Bob, and good evening once again. We are now ready to present our final award of the evening, our Public Sector Award. This award recognizes outstanding achievement in economic development. At the start of tonight's program, I listed a number of top achievements our city has accomplished. These accolades are well-deserved, and they can only be accomplished with a strong local government. And Washington, D.C. has a strong local government in the Gray administration. With so many complex public-private development projects underway in the city today, from City Market O Street, the shops at Dakota Crossing, Northwest 1, Berry Farm, St. Elizabeth's East Campus, Walter Reed, and the many more projects in every ward of the city, we are making phenomenal progress to complete projects that add to the vitality, economic development, and energy of Washington, D.C. The Gray administration has advanced all these projects while maintaining fiscal responsibility and gaining global financial clout. We've had 3 consecutive balanced budgets under this administration, and we've even stayed open and operating when the federal government decided to shut down for 2 weeks. The Gray administration has taken some courageous steps in ensuring our city continues in the direction of stable growth and vitality. The police chief helps keep it safe. We continue to see the momentum in these public-private partnerships. Just last month, Skyland Town Center in Ward 7 finally broke ground after 25 years of stalled efforts. The Gray administration took the lead and moved this important project to the forefront. Public-private projects such as these require a strong economic team. Mayor Gray, you, Deputy Mayor for Planning and Economic Development Victor Hoskins, and City Administrator Alan Liu have done an outstanding job advancing these development projects in the city over the past 3 years. And I, as president of DCBIA and DCBIA as a whole, is proud to present the Public Sector Award to the Gray administration for leadership in economic development.
Thank you very much, and good evening, everybody. I am delighted to be here and accept this award along with our city administrator, Alan Liu, and Rich Nichols, who is the Chief of Staff for the Deputy Mayor for Planning and Economic Development. Victor is unable to be here with us tonight. We were together just a few days ago in Las Vegas, and since he was so close to L.A., he decided to go see his mom. For those who don't know, Victor's brother passed away a few weeks ago, and he made the absolutely appropriate decision, and that is to go see his family while he had the opportunity to do that. I want to thank Sean. I want to thank the DCBIA, and I want to thank all those who are responsible for recognizing this. I was just telling Sean what a nice citation that was to talk about a number of the projects in which we've been engaged. I also appreciate the comment about helping us keep the District of Columbia government open. And we were able to do that in substantial part because of the fund balance that we had amassed. Some of you may recall that we got a call from the Office of Management and Budget, and they said that they needed our shutdown plan. And my question was, why are we shutting down? This is our money. It's our property taxes, our sales taxes, our income taxes. And the answer was because you need a congressional appropriation in order to be able to spend your money. So we submitted a plan, as some of you know, and essentially what it said is that every operation and every employee is essential in the District of Columbia, so we aren't shutting down anything, ladies and gentlemen. In the meantime, the work went on, and what we have been able to do in 3.5 years is to complete, in 3.5 years, 78 projects. 78 projects, and one of the great things for everybody, I think, is that it has been spread all across the District of Columbia. This city center, in which, you know, the state of Qatar is the biggest investor, $702 million. And by the way, for those who don't know, the folks from Qatar are so happy with the way City Center has gone, and I want to thank Bill Alsop and others who worked so hard on that project, that they now have made the decision to invest another $300 million in the District of Columbia for a hotel to be built on the same site. That will be $1 billion of investment from Qatar alone. But one of the things that we vowed is that we were going to make sure that development occurred not just in the downtown core, but across the District of Columbia, and that is exactly what we're seeing. With the Skyland Town Center, which is the longest undone project in the history of civilization, I think. The Strand Theater, which closed in 1959. We're now investing $1 million in stabilizing the building. And when we were at the shopping center convention just a few days ago, we had two retailers who were there who were very serious about wanting to locate in the Strand Theater, which is on the east end of the city at Division and Nannie Helen Burroughs Avenue. And of course, there's St. Elizabeth's, the former mental health facility that now is primed for development itself. The federal government owns the west side of the campus, of course, and has now developed the Coast Guard headquarters there. And I want to thank our Congresswoman who's here tonight for her advocacy in making sure that the federal government came to the west side. I guess we got some more work to do to make sure that the Homeland Security Department, in fact, shows up on the west side. But we have the east side, and that's 183 acres of land that will be developed for several purposes, for offices, for residential, and as a technology hub in the District of Columbia as we work to diversify our economy. We have been largely dependent upon the federal government for decades to be able to operate this economy, and that will never go away completely. But we've had a commitment to diversifying our economy. And we will have, for example, the North American headquarters of Citlalum, a French firm that will locate at St. Elizabeth's. And we will have locating there also, which is absolutely incredible. If somebody would have said that this company was going to locate in Ward 8 of the District of Columbia, they would have said, you better change your brand of smoke, brother. So we have got Microsoft coming to the east end of the District of Columbia, locating on the grounds of St. Elizabeth's. So I want to thank Alan. I want to thank him. He's our city administrator, of course, and he gets the daunting responsibility of trying to drive a lot of these projects. He's working on one in particular right now that we're trying to make it happen, ladies and gentlemen. It's one that we can make it happen. I think everybody will get a kick out of. I want to thank Victor also. Victor is absolutely a phenomenally talented man, and I wish he were here tonight because he has done such an extraordinary job in helping to lead our economic development efforts in the city. I also want to thank Lisa Mallory, who, of course, has left, but we still claim Lisa as our own. She did a fantastic job leading the Department of Employment Services. In fact, we had a program there that got a Harvard University Bright Idea Award, One City, One Hire, in which we said we were going to get 10,000 people back to work in the District of Columbia. And as of today, we are at 9,560 people. Our unemployment rate has come from 11.2% when we came in the door down to 7.5% at this stage. We are going in the right direction, ladies and gentlemen. And I want to thank, I see Chief Lanier standing in the wings. I want to thank her, too, because, frankly, a strong public safety program is absolutely essential to economic development. One of the people who was talking to us on Monday about moving to the east end of the District of Columbia asked about crime. And I was proud to say that robberies are down by almost 30% in the District of Columbia, and that we are locating the 6th District headquarters on the east end, right just a few blocks from where this project would be located. So the future is bright for the District of Columbia. Again, I want to thank Alan. I want to thank Victor. And I also want to recognize our outstanding Chief of Staff who is here tonight. Many of you have had the opportunity to work with him. He is indefatigable. For those of you who don't use that word much, it means he is tireless. And I remember saying to him in the early going, I said, Chris, I feel like I'm just piling stuff on you. And he just looked at me and said, try me. And I have over the last, 2, almost 3 years that he's worked with us. So I appreciate the award being given to the Gray administration because those are the folks who have gotten this done. It's a very talented group of people, a committed group of people who have the city in their blood and work hard to be able to make and continue to work towards this being the greatest city in the nation until we become the 51st state in the United States of America. Thank you all very much.
Okay, that concludes our program this evening. Enjoy your dinner.